What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great blessed day, and yeah, let's get into this video. So today is gonna be a awesome video. It's gonna be a cool video. So a friend of mine kind of bought like a Zoom call with Coyote Peterson, and being so generous, she asked me to come over to ask some questions. So I thought that was gonna be awesome, so I said yeah. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I'll talk a little more at the house. Right now, I just kind of want to come over here by the pond. The pond's getting a little cleaner. Hopefully by Sunday, it'll be like really clean, but we'll see. But I just guys kind of wanted to catch you guys up on what's gonna happen today, because today's gonna be a very cool day, because I'm gonna be able to talk to Coyote Peterson. There's one of my other friends right there. So yeah, but yeah. So like I was saying, I'll talk a little more about that at the house. And I don't know what's going on with my hair, and I have a root beer in my hand. So yeah, I'm just saying that I didn't get it from my friend. I got it from church. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the house.
Hey guys, my name is Nina, and I am here with TJ, and we are super excited to film this video for you. And I'm excited to even just have the experience or I guess the opportunity to be able to do this. So if you don't know who Coyote Peterson is, Coyote Peterson is an American wildlife expert. He is super knowledgeable about so many reptiles, mammals, amphibians. If you haven't checked out their YouTube channel, they have two. Their first channel is Brave Wilderness, and their second one is Blue Wilderness, which focuses on amphibians and the whole ocean life and things of that sort. I absolutely love how educational his videos are, and he is super smart about what he does. The fun part is, he gets stung and bit by these different animals, insects, and things of that sort, and he ranks them on the worst sting to like the least sting.
On the pain scale?
Yes, on the pain scale, correct. And so yeah, that's what we're going to
So just saying, it sounds like it was like a list, like nothing's on here, it's just the Zoom call, there's nothing behind this. She just remembered that, and that was perfect. I don't know how she knew that, so round of applause for Nina.
Awesome.
Like how she was saying, we're doing a Zoom call with Coyote Peterson.
Yes, his new book was released today, September 15th, and I did have that on pre-order, so it should be coming, getting that book in very soon. We can do a review on that if y'all would like, but we're super excited, and we know that Coyote Peterson, we both love Coyote Peterson. For my graduation, they had we'll show clips of that video. Yeah, we'll insert it here. But Coyote Peterson made a video for me. Their family got it together and had a personalized video for me, which was really awesome, cool. Really sweet, and it just warmed my heart because they know how much I really enjoyed watching Coyote Peterson. So yeah, we can't wait to do the Zoom call and talk about his new book that is just being released today. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. So yeah, like she was saying, Coyote Peterson is a guy that does a lot of videos on pain scale, wildlife, and everything. And yeah, hopefully we can answer some questions. And yeah, let's see how that goes. But like she said, but yeah, there's really, what else? Yeah, I mean, he just goes out, he travels around the world, and he does some crazy things that I don't even think I would ever do, but he's really smart, he's really knowledgeable in the field. And
what is his saying? He says a saying:
be brave, stay wild, and we'll see you on the next adventure.
See, that sounded like she wrote that down, but that wasn't written down.
Yes, he says it at the end of every video. So
hopefully we can actually talk to him answer some questions. We'll see how that goes. But
I guarantee at the end of the closing, he's gonna say,
yeah,
"Be brave, stay wild."
so
we'll see on the next episode.
We'll see that. But we're gonna record it on the iPad, so hopefully it looks good. Yeah, we'll start up when we join the call. So it's about to start. My sister's gonna be in it, so. But it's about to start, and yeah.
It's 6 o'clock, so we're just waiting on the host to start the meeting.
So this is a webinar, so the only people you'll be able to see are me from Little Shop of Stories and then Coyote when we bring him on. So everybody else, if you want to interact with folks, you can do it in the chat. If you already know a question that you want to ask Coyote, you can go ahead and put it in the Q&A section. So the chat is wild. It goes way too fast for me. So if you want to ask a question, put it in the
He's already answered that, or that's the hornet, or the black.
No, that's done by a new one.
That's where you can put questions, because I can see those.
So we're asking right now what's his versus thing, so yeah.
Question, make sure you use the Q&A feature. Look at all these people from all over the world. This is amazing.
I may end up having to.
So right now, So right now I'm asking him a question, and I said, how did your journey begin, and what caused you this, or what inspired you to start doing this? Because he does not have a major in anything that is wildlife related. So that is going to be my question for him. We can ask several, but that is my main question for him. Do you have another question?
You had
I said
said
we wait for a second because you said like 5 already.
you had asked what was the one bite that you regret
That's
doing.
what I asked.
Welcome everybody. So good to see you. If you're just now arriving, make sure to say hello in the chat. But if you have any questions for Coyote Peterson, put them in the Q&A feature, which is a little button down along the bottom of your screen. So the chat is for saying hello and expressing how excited you are, but questions go in the Q&A feature. So let me help this person who's sitting in.
It's recording on the screen.
Oh, it is.
Yay!
On his really?
Any more questions?
See if that helps the person.
What is the most
Coolest place you've been?
My goodness, United Kingdom. I've seen people from Australia. I've seen people from the Philippines on here. This is amazing. Yay. All right, this is so awesome. I saw someone ask how many people are here. We're at 229 right now. 230. It keeps going up. It's amazing. This is awesome. I'm so happy that y'all are all here. This is really, really special, and we're super excited. It's 7:06, so I know folks might still be filtering in, but I'm going to go ahead and get started and give y'all a big welcome from me. My name is Madison. I'm a bookseller at Little Shop of Stories. We are an independent bookstore located in Decatur,
Do you have any more
Georgia, which is
questions?
right outside of Atlanta, Georgia, which is in the United States of America. And we are
What's his
thrilled
favorite animal?
to have all of you here from all over the world to celebrate the release of The Beast of Bites, the latest book from
So that's the book that she just bought. So
we are thrilled to have you here, and I just wanted to point out that we have this chat feature that is so exciting. I love seeing you guys introduce yourselves on there and saying where you're from. That's amazing. At Little Shop of Stories, we value respect and kindness above all else, and so I would ask you to always use respect and kindness when you're using the chat feature. And if I feel like you are being disrespectful or unkind, I can remove you from the chat feature. So just please follow those values and those guidelines, and we're going to have a really great time. I do want to mention one more time that this
how
is
many
a Zoom
questions
webinar,
have
which
you
means
guys
that we
did?
can't see you,
Almost 10.
and we can't hear you. There's no audio or visual for y'all, but you can see me, and in just a minute you'll be able to see Coyote Peterson Peterson and hear him as well. So if you want to ask a question, and I see that we already have a lot of great questions, go to the Q&A feature down along the bottom of your screen. Click.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, I'm okay.
This chat is on fire, Coyote. People are just tuning in from all over, and they're so excited. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to see how many people are flooding in from all over the place to celebrate the birthday of the Beast of Bites. It's a very exciting day for the book.
Oh my gosh.
Today is it is actually the 6th birthday of the Brave Wilderness channel. We officially launched on YouTube 6 years ago today, September 15th. So a double birthday party is in the works. The King of Sting was great because people love the Sting videos, but it was isolated to insects for the most part. Beast of Bites is a greater collection of all the animals I've been chomped by.
So what you're hearing right now is actually Coyote Peterson himself talking about the book. So that's really cool. He's telling that you kind of can hear it before we get to
Bites. As a kid, I loved to draw. So I would physically draw and make my own books, drawing, my own, not necessarily the best illustrations of snapping turtles, wolverines, turkey vultures, praying mantis, great white sharks. If it was any animal that was fascinating to me, I was trying to put it into my own book. So as I got older, got an education, developed a major in film production, screenwriting, and directing.
Oh wow, he does have a major in that. That's crazy.
What you can see is the bookshelves on the sides of me in my office here, filled with my collections of books from childhood until now. And I always wanted to be able to write books that were in the same vein that I felt Coyote as a little kid would enjoy. And that's
when it goes down, then
game
you
show.
do
The
that.
dog is able to cover basically 60 feet.
So right
in a
now
matter
he
of
was
seconds.
just
And I
talking
can
about
stand
filming
there
the book and
with a
everything so
white
fast
suit
possible.
on. The
But
white suit's
now
like
he's
a
getting into
capital,
questions and
which is like
everything.
a really
We're learning a lot and a lot of
material, but
crazy
there's no
things that
we didn't know, that you don't know
I
just
stand
watching the
relaxed
videos.
right
So
now. I feel
pretty
every
cool.
bit of pressure in that
Like and
bite.
subscribe.
I had to take
yes, like and
bites over and over
subscribe.
again,
Just wanna say
same arm all afternoon long. I took six dog attacks because we filmed a couple of other episodes as well. 6 dog attacks in the matter of 24 hours. So that's a
6
lot.
dog attacks.
you remember
In 24
the
hours.
video linked up to Achilles?
So even with the suit
Imagine
on,
that dog
that's
bigger
the pressure of the whole
attacking your arm.
Both of my arms
That's what you
were
did.
covered in bruises. I had 2. The first bite episode that we did, which also is not either. There's 2 different dog bite episodes coming out. The first day we did this amazing episode where we showed you how a tactically trained law enforcement dog is able to follow somebody and essentially track them down and find them. We filmed, it's kind of like a mini movie that
It's
we
like
filmed in an
Achilles.
abandoned ski lodge. And I worked with something called a Dutch Shepherd, which is like a mix between a German Shepherd and a Belgian Malinois.
That's what we got.
That dog's bite force was one of the most painful bites I've ever taken. I thought it broke my wrist. It didn't, but I had massive hematomas all through this arm. So the next episode that we shot, I could only use this arm because this arm was so damaged, like it busted all the blood vessels and several major veins. It was gross. It was gross, but it was.
Goodness gracious.
Enough about that. The dog bites and the mental focus it takes to be like, this is going to hurt.
What blows my mind is that this is it's not a video. It wouldn't be on YouTube instead of put this on people's, Instagram? Spread it out because I don't know how many people are doing this.
Well, last we heard there were 230 people on. So.
I don't know how many people right now, but
That's where I live permanently. Right now, you guys are actually sitting in my home office. I'm not in the Wilderness Productions office, which is also here in Columbus, Ohio. And there are a number of different animals that I love that are here in my habitat. And the number one reason that I'm here all the time is common snapping turtles. So my favorite animal in the world pretty much lives right in my own backyard, which keeps me very busy in the spring because I get to go out and look for a lot of my favorite turtles.
I don't think he even talks on the videos. He has a kid. I don't think you know that, but that's crazy.
Her name is Pup.
Great question, Gabriel. So, with the Beast of Bites, you'll get both of my books regretted bites. One was intentional, one was unintentional. And that goes to unintentional being the Gila monster, which that was just a huge mistake how I was bitten on my thumb by that one, which was insanely painful. And then the giant desert centipede, which was another one of the most painful.
That's what I hate, because in every other video, like, oh, we're fine, that's not here. But that's actually here. We see it every day.
Insanely painful.
He answered your question. That's it.
I feel like I'm living these experiences, and I have no concept for how painful that is. I've been stung by like a bee, like that. So
it's tough to explain, and I would never wish anybody goes through any of these situations. A good place for me to note for all the young Coyote Pack members out there, and even the older ones, never approach venomous animals in the wild. You gotta admire these things from a safe distance. I've gotten lucky with the unintentional bites that I've taken, and the Gila monster was definitely one of those. When I was bitten by the Gila monster, my thumb was in its mouth for less than a second. Less than a second, I promise you, when it swung around and I ripped my finger out of its mouth, that amount of time that it had its teeth on me, so much venom got in, and we're talking probably a pretty small amount of venom. I was in massive pain for almost 8 straight hours, and it's almost impossible to describe the pain and how it doesn't stop the entire time that you're in it. So when people say only an idiot gets bitten by a Gila monster, like, I stress that over and over. I was a total idiot for getting that camera too close to the Gila monster. It is not something you ever want to go through. So if you see a Gila monster in the wild, definitely just admire it from
Which one you regretted?
Not aggressive. They just
Which
want
one
to
was
be left alone. But if you trifle with them, trust me, you're gonna have a really bad day.
well, that's what leads me into my next
I remember that one.
A bit different. Now, no two turtles, no two animals of any type are created the same. So when you go out and do research on Bite Force, like, all the numbers that you see out there are
Sorry for not talking, because like this is very interesting.
Maybe some sort of
Some of the
structure
stuff that we
scientists
didn't
build.
know,
You can't go
like,
out there and
yeah,
just
it's crazy.
buy something that you can bite onto and be like, this is a Bite Force. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, we've tried to find and buy these things. They are out there. But alligator snapping turtle compared to common snapping turtle, the common snapping turtle, pounds per square inch of its body, has a more powerful bite, in my opinion, than the alligator snapping turtle because of the way that they have to kill and rip apart their prey.
Take a break from the danger.
That's a good one. The funniest thing that has happened, man, there's a lot of bloopers behind the scenes, but honestly, I think one of the funniest that ended up turning into an episode that the audience probably has seen and can relate to, because it always boggles my mind how popular this video is the pickle pop episode, where I tried to set a world record, and to my knowledge, did set a world record by eating the most number of pickle pops
I never
in
seen
like
that one.
20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it was. Because I didn't even know what a pickle pop was until the day before, when we were randomly eating lunch at this little burger joint in Thermopolis, Wyoming. And we're like, oh yeah, we got to film an episode about this. And people loved that pickle pop video. It was the goofiest, most ridiculous thing when we filmed it. It was really just because we were bored and we're like, oh, this could maybe turn into something goofy. Lo and behold, I mean, that thing's got millions of views, and every time I see people, they're like, Coyote, we brought you some pickles. People will bring jars of pickles when we weren't in the times of COVID, and I was still doing, like, if this had been a live event, I guarantee you people would have showed up with jars of pickles. Well, that's a great
Before
question. It
anything,
is a
it
long
was
story, but I'll tell you.
It typed like 20 questions, so we might not get all of them, but we might get some. We already got like 2 answered, right?
Yeah. Process of trying to get an independent film funded and off the ground, when the whole opportunity to pursue a career with animals kind of came full circle for me, because I've loved animals my entire life. Then I got into film and television production, and then we saw this opportunity to really create essentially what we've made public at this point, and kind of went full bore in that direction. So I did have another day job where I worked at a printing ink company for almost a decade out of college. And when I say printing ink, I worked
Tony,
at a
we're
very small
learning
place
so much
where
right
I,
now. Seriously, we
was
are
creating
crazy.
different sort of, the best way to describe it is, it was kind of like I was a cook mixing together different chemicals and colors to make coatings and inks. And you couldn't eat what you were making, but it was essentially the same process, making formulas and creating different inks and coatings. Like even like these glossy coatings that you see on books or sports trading cards called UV coatings. I've created a number of different coatings in my younger days. So yeah, it was a pretty cool job to have.
What? He's made so many things.
Yeah, and I have no background in chemistry, just so we're clear. I was more sort of like the little lab guy that was like, I worked with somebody else that was the brains behind the operation. I would be given a formula and it was like, mix these things together. Ah, there it is. And my biggest claim to fame is that
me too.
at one point in time, I was the guy that mixed together the color red that is Netflix's red.
Wow.
Yeah. It would never be published anywhere or known by anybody, but back when Netflix was still that DVD rental service, that coating that was on those little discs that came in and out of the machines, the company I was working for was given the project to match that color red and create a new ink line for them. I'm the guy that created that red color.
That's
Crazy,
awesome.
right?
This guy accomplished so much.
Yeah, well, I've been in Netflix pitches before, and I've told that to people, and they're like, we don't even remember having those things. Like the people that I was talking to, like, we're not involved with Netflix.
Netflix used to be like a CD rental, maybe like
great story. So what are you here to talk to us about?
9 years ago. I was probably like 9 or 10. So
Probably wasn't even born.
maybe like 9 years ago, you would rent them in a CD and then you would send them back.
I wish the
And then they would,
Netflix would just
you
like
just go back and
maybe give
forth.
a small plaque to be like, you're the guy that created that red match for us. So someday.
Someday they will. They'll come.
You gotta dream big, right?
You really do. You really
That's
do.
crazy.
This is a question I've seen a couple times asked a couple different ways, but Nathan says, do you have any specific bites in mind for the future? And the question we're getting is there anything
We
like,
asked that
that
one as
you're
well.
really excited to get bitten by that you haven't had the opportunity to yet?
Well, I can't ever say there's excitement to be bitten by anything. And I was asked this in an interview earlier today for a newspaper article of like
I was gonna ask my
why do you get excited? Like I seem like I'm excited when I'm a kid.
That's like the red
You gotta bring the
You have
excitement and personality to the moment. If I was there, I'd be like, all right, well, sorry guys, I gotta go through this bite. Like you're not gonna get that entertainment side of things. So I'm not necessarily ever excited to take the bite. What I'm excited about is the fact that this animal A, B, C through X, Y, Z, that you probably knew nothing about, now you're going to get an education on as we're leading you up to being like, all right, I'm going to get bitten. Because I know why you clicked on the video. You want to see me go through some sort of painful experience, but you got to learn something along the way. So that's what truly drives me, getting the education out there about these animals. And in many instances, disproving a lot of the misnomers that these things are like bloodthirsty killers. Piranha's a great example, which will be filmed tomorrow. Next week, I'm heading to Michigan to film an episode on sea lamprey. And if you don't know what a sea lamprey is, look it up, because it's a living nightmare. It's this like 2 foot long, half fish, half eel, with a suction cup mouth, and they suction onto fish and use their tongue, which is covered in teeth, to drill a hole in the fish, and then they suck out the organs.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Right there. So I'm going to attach one of these to my arm, one to my stomach, and one to my neck. Let's see what happens.
Coyote.
Stay tuned. Episode comes out in November.
Fun fact, his real name is Nathaniel.
I won't think that I can't think about it. I can't think about it any further.
It's like getting a suction cup, putting it in it, and feeling like it's all
I
going
never
through
like
your
to
veins.
be overly confident with our
And
videos
it's not in
until,
his stomach,
you
by
know,
his
like,
guts.
they come out and you're like, oh, cool, the audience really like this. But like, the sea lamprey is
Oh,
going to
no.
be, I mean, if people love the leeches episode, which is also part of Beast of Bites,
Hated that
this is
video,
like the
so
leeches on a whole nother alien level. And like, we know, I mean, I'm not going to give anything away. I know what's going to happen. And you guys are going to be
I'm so
really
excited to
trust
read
me, the
his
sea
new book.
lamprey is going to be
When are you going to get it?
Should be in the mail by
Lampreys.
the next couple of days.
Ancient animals.
Yeah, very ancient animal.
All right. This is a fun question. Miko is asking, my 6-year-old son wants to know, where can he buy a hat like yours?
The
Great
website.
question,
Shop
Nico.
Coyote
So,
Peterson.
the Brave Wilderness website, if you go to the store, hats, this hat is back in stock, and we also have another hat coming out, because this hat's like insanely thick, kind of insanely durable leather. I've been wearing, truth be told, I've been wearing the same hat for all 6 years that we've been producing Brave Wilderness content. But we're going to have two different versions of the hat, because the reason is that I feel that the actual hat I wear is a little too heavy for some kids' heads. It has a lot of like weight to it. It's crazy. And we're making a version that is exactly identical to this, that's a little bit more lightweight, that will be on the store in time for Christmas. But the actual authentic one is on the store now, back in stock. So yeah, you can get your Brave Wilderness hats at shopbravewilderness.com.
Right there. You guys want to buy one of these hats?
Easy as it gets.
So I've seen questions sort of like this one, and Jacob is asking, he says, are you okay from those stings and bites? He's talking specifically about the centipede, the giant centipede one, and he was really concerned about you, and wants to know if you're okay. But thinking about, like, are there any experiences where there have been some long-term either physical or psychological impacts after a particular sting or bite?
Good question. So, yes, I am okay from all the things, although some people might question if I'm mentally all there, given the fact that I still keep doing these crazy things. But yes, I'm always okay after the fact. Sometimes I do have, an aftermath that'll last a considerable amount of time. In the King of Sting book, I'm sure you guys are familiar with me getting stung by 300 plus times by fire ants.
That's a lot.
Red pustules all over my hands and arms for like 4 weeks after we were done filming the episode. It was just a horrific sight. I had to wear like gloves on my hands everywhere.
What are you saying?
Because I looked like, I was mutating into some weird frog creature. Recently when I did all the dog bite episodes, this arm specifically, from the injuries it took, I wasn't able to work out for almost 2.5 weeks, because anytime I tried to like lift weights, just the pressure going onto my wrist and the blood pressure in my forearm was extremely painful.
What
So,
did you do?
yeah, there was an
I sent a copy
after
of the
effect in
question
many
again.
instances, but
So that it was like
everything's
show up
okay.
again.
Good. We're glad that you're
He
okay.
answered like
What a weird
10 of our
thing to
questions.
answer to a question like, yeah, I get hurt all the time, but in the end, I'm always okay. So
We hope that you continue to always bounce back so that you can keep diving into the danger again. I'm a sucker for these questions, Coyote, about books. So, Lana, what was your favorite childhood book? We talked about your favorite books now, and Joseph Campbell's a great choice for grown-ups and older kids. But when you were a kid, what was your favorite book?
Man, well, I can go way back. I had a lot of like real early, like Shel Silverstein was a big influence for me. All like Where the Sidewalk Ends and stuff like that. I love those books. I actually write a lot of poetry similar to his style in my own.
I didn't know that he wrote
form.
poetry.
Like I'm really into that.
We're reading so much.
But in my own personal private time, I really enjoy experimenting with
This
like
video
rhyming
is
and
a long
stuff
video,
like that.
but
So that was really influential to
it's
me
Coyote
early
Peterson.
on. I was also super big into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I read a lot of Ninja Turtle comics and X-Men comics when I was younger, like in my, between the ages of like, I guess like 7 and 13, I would say. I was super into X-Men and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I read a lot of comic books as a kid.
And speaking of when you were a kid, Aiden is 5 years old and wants to know, at what age did you know you wanted to work with animals and bugs? Were you a kid or were you older?
Definitely a kid. My neighborhood friends and I used to go into the woods like every day during summer vacation, and they would just be back there following me around as I try to catch frogs and turtles. And like my big thing was to always be like, oh cool, I caught something. Let me try to recite facts that I remember from the field guides that I was reading, and then like making my own little field guides. My mom still has, a huge collection of all these like little Coyote Peterson books that I made, stuff like that. And so early on, like I always wanted to be like an explorer. I thought that, oh cool, maybe when I grow up I can go on these wild trips around the world and just make field guides like Roger Tory Peterson or Audubon. Like I wanted to make books that showcased animals. Obviously, I evolved my form into being like, all right, I'm making an encyclopedia, which is the Brave Wilderness channel of animal videos. But yeah, as a little kid, I was very much into wanting to do this.
question I've been seeing a few times, which is what inspired you to write your
That's
books?
another question,
And it sounds like you've been wanting to write books for a long time. That's so cool.
I mean, I would honestly say, you know, not to sound like cheesy, but the audience is a huge inspiration for the books. Like, I really do put myself into the form that's like, you know, our audience is very diverse. People from 3 years old to 93 years old. I mean, the content is palatable and appropriate for everybody, but I really do put a lot of thought, especially in the books, into like our younger audience demographic. Between like 3 and 14 years old, I'm like, man, like, what is the book that I wanted?
Oops, I'm
when I was a
18.
kid?
Still watching
Pictures,
him.
and you know, in the Brave Adventure series, it's like black and white illustrations, which I actually also really enjoyed as a kid. So we try to get a combination of both things that has a vintage appeal to it, but also that modern spin that can be like, if I was a kid, this is what I would have really enjoyed. So I try to think about the audience when we're putting these books together to be like, man, like, I mean, Beast of Bites and King of Sting, like I said, this is like a comic book mixed together with a book that you could read and do a book report on. Because when I was in grade school, like, if I went to my teachers and was like, I'm going to do a book report on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books, they'd be like, no, you're not. You can do Call of the Wild, or and just based on the success of what it is, I know we were only able to get to a fraction of the questions. I feel like we got to do this again.
How do I put this
I
on
feel
here?
like we could do this once a week and probably not get through all the questions. So, you know, I'm certainly going to continue to push forward in creating the best family-friendly, adventurous content that I can for
Nope, that thing's in the way.
pack members of all ages. And whether you're 3 years old or you're 93 years old, like, our goal is to bring you guys animals and adventure, bring you a positive message about the environment and where we're all headed as a civilization, as a species. And again, I can't stress the positivity enough. Even at Brave Wilderness, like, it's been a struggle for us too. We haven't been able to travel internationally this year. Our travel within the States has been very limited, but you press forward.
Sorry about that. Stop recording.
The next
So
step in the future, and we're gonna get there. We're all gonna make it.
maybe.
Well,
We're
thank
gonna
you
say
so
it.
much for taking the time to spend with us. I agree, we would love to have posted something live in person, but if we'd done that, we couldn't have had our friends from Australia and the Philippines and the UK. You know, I saw people in the chat from all over the world, and yeah, there's something really special about being able to bring people together this way, in a way that we as a bookstore had never done before, and you as a creator hadn't done in this particular way before. And yeah, so from Little Shop of Stories 2, we wish all of you guys out there the absolute best. Keep being brave and creative, and know that we're going to be okay. And we look forward to a time when we can welcome you in person and Coyote in person, because we know that that would be a whole lot of fun. So yeah, thank you, Coyote, and thank you, everybody. Yay!
Yeah, and thank you everybody for showing up tonight. And you know, again, we're so thrilled that we have the technology, like you said, to be able to share this with people that are not just in Georgia. Like, it's great to have that many people being able to participate. And thank you guys, everybody who joined us tonight to watch, for checking out the Beast of Bites, the King of Sting. We're very proud of these books and very thankful that we got such an amazing audience that supports the work that we do. And it's our goal to bring you guys more and more books. So we're going to do our best to continue doing that. And how about I give you guys a classic Be Brave, Stay Wild sign off, and we'll call it from there. Sound good, Madison?
Sounds great to me.
All right. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was awesome.
So that was phenomenal. So let's stop that for a second. So that was crazy. As you were watching, we just not talked. We kind of
We just listened and
text.
yes, we were able to type in questions
Yeah.
and ask him. He answered. We asked about almost 20, and he answered a lot of them.
You wanna say
Probably
like 9?
all of them. At least
Yeah,
9.
about
Yeah.
9 or half of them.
It's a good amount. It's really awesome being able to, even though we're not directly interacting, we're still interacting in some
Yeah.
form, and being able to develop more of a character behind this person and develop these personality traits that this person has, aside from being on camera, is absolutely amazing. Learning so many interesting facts about him is just astonishing to me. I absolutely love it. It was a great opportunity. We did pay for it, so
I didn't. So another round of applause for Nina. She, like I said, was so generous to ask me to do this. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Nina.
no, thanks for having me. It was a great experience. I absolutely
That was an
love it.
hour long. Hopefully the video wasn't an hour long, but this was an hour long.
Yes.
It was amazing. We, like as Nina was saying, we got to answer a couple of questions, or he got to answer a couple of our questions. And yeah, like Nina was saying, we know a little more about him. We didn't know he loved books like that. We didn't know so much about this, and now you guys know, because you would have to pay $30 to know this. So
Yeah.
this is why Nina did this. Like I said again, round of applause for her. Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope y'all learned a little bit more about Coyote Peterson. If y'all are fans or just want to know more about him, he does have a show on Animal Planet. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this video.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
The outro. So like how she saad, stay safe, guys. I was gonna say be brave, but you guys are having a great blessed day. Stay safe. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.